feel free to stretch for a moment, since we're going to skip Kinhin this evening. So please just be comfortable, and then we'll start in 20 minutes. Ed.
Yes, Cindy,
would you like to provide introductions?
Yeah. So, like I said, introduce you to each other first, and then so they get to know, and then Sarah can share his experience.
Yeah. So I will begin by introducing Sayadaw Ottamatara, and then Master Shigen will introduce yourself, and after that, then we will have a session of sharing. So, as you can see, Sayadaw Ottamatara is a Theravada Buddhist monk. He came from Myanmar, and he has been teaching meditation since 2003. He teaches Vipassana meditation, and in the Satipatthana, the 4 objects of Vipassana meditation, there is the Kaya, which is the body, Vedana, which is the sensation, and Citta, which is the mind, and Dhamma. And his teaching, his object is Dhammanupassana. His primary teaching focuses on mindfulness and detachment. He is also the founder of a center called Tabawa. Tabawa means nature, and he has over 100 meditation centers worldwide, most of them in Myanmar, a few in Malaysia, Japan, Italy, Singapore. He combined teaching meditation with helping people. His biggest Tabawa center in Tallinn housed over 5,000 people, including the mentally ill, the old and sick, orphanages, and also animal shelters. There are many volunteers from all over the world that will come and stay at Tabawa Tallinn Center to volunteer, and everyone is welcome to stay for short-term or long-term at no cost. Is there to experience and practice meditation and do good deeds together. Sayadaw has been here since July to start what's called the rain retreats, Wasa, for 3 months. And Wasa, along with his Sangha, the Bandes and monks, there were a total of 41 people attended Wasa here, and we conducted meditation retreats across the United States, from California to Minnesota, New Jersey, Texas, and Florida. And because Sayadaw has misplaced his green card and passport, and so he had to wait here until he received his temporary green card, and he will be departing the United States tomorrow at 1 p.m. he has a meditation center here in Hacienda Heights, LA County. Everyone is welcome to come and practice. And because of the greatest opportunity that he and his Sangha is here, we previously, last month, we had conducted a one-day meditation retreat here. And so we had sent a request to the head nun here to meet with Master Shigen and Citrus Zen for Dhamma Sharon this afternoon. And that is the reason why every one of us are here today. So we are very happy to see everyone. And we would like for Master Shigen to share his background.
Well, thank you for coming tonight. I'm learning moment by moment what the plan was. The way Ting Quan had, Venerable Ting Quan explained was that he would be joining us, and that was it. That was all I received. So this is nice to get to know you in a more intimate level. So again, my name is Chigen. My full Dharma name is Rakushin Chigen, which means joyous mind, subtle truth, or joyous heart, subtle truth. I began my journey with the Dharma in the late 90s, 96 to be specific. I met my teacher in 98, I believe it was. Took Jukai with him in 99 and then received the precepts, or Tokudo, became a monastic in 2006. Completed the Koan curriculum in 2014 and then received Dharma transmission in 2017. In the West, it's a little bit challenging because the Dharma hasn't rooted itself deeply yet. And so many of us that, even though we ordain, we often have jobs. So in addition to being a Zen Buddhist teacher, that role I do completely as a donation. There's no fee for any of that sort of thing. My teachings are free. And we're very blessed to have Ting Quan, who offers us this space to meet. She's very generous, a true bodhisattva. But in addition to that, I work at the hospital, and I manage a sleep disorder center and previously a neurodiagnostic lab at Loma Linda University. We meet here once a week, and our program varies from week to week. The first week we just do Zazen, and I offer a Daisen, or one-on-one meeting with students. The second week we do Zazen and Dharma talk. Third week we do ceremony and Zazen, and then the fourth week we do Zazen and Dharma talk as well. And then I have some students out of state that I meet with. As far as the lineage that I belong to officially the White Plum Sangha, which is a Soto Zen line of Buddhism. However, my teacher's teacher was authorized in three lines of Zen Buddhism. So we have lineage through both Rinzai and Soto lines, both the Inzan and Tokyu Rinzai lines and the Soto line. So we're a bit of a hybrid school where we offer both shikantaza, or meditation, just meditation, as well as koan study, which is more aligned with the Rinzai tradition. So, anyway, enough about me.
Sarah, can you explain, your teaching about vipassana meditation? တပည့်တော်တနာရီချိန်ရတာပေါ့ဒီက8နာရီလို့ပြီး8နာရီ15လို့ထွက်ကြတယ် The aim of vipassana meditation is to control or train our present mind to be stable and pure as much as possible. Therefore, in practicing meditation, the mind is more important than our physical and verbal action. Whatever we do, or we say, or we think, we need to use the mind. If the mind is stable, our physical, verbal, and mental action will be stable. If the mind is not stable, our physical, verbal, and mental action will not be stable. In order to be stable mind, we need to focus on Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. For the meditators, Dhamma is more important. Dhamma is ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. Everything is changing or impermanent. Everyone is changing or impermanent. But changing or impermanent nature is permanent. As a meditator, we need to be mindful the changing or impermanent nature of everything and everyone. If we are not practicing meditation, we may pay more attention on everything and everyone. Because of practicing meditation, we need to pay attention only on changing or impermanent nature of whatever we do and whatever happens in our body and mind. So the main object of mindfulness is changing or impermanent nature of present moment. In previous silent meditation, there was breathing naturally sometimes. Concerned with breathing, we should try to know the changing or impermanent nature of every action of breathing. There may be in-breath or out-breath, but the same changing or impermanent nature for both of in-breath and out-breath. In practicing meditation, we should pay attention mostly on present changing or impermanent nature of everything. We are different from each other. Whatever happens in our body and mind may be different from each other, but we should try to be mindful only on present changing or impermanent nature. This is trying to be the same knowing about present changing or impermanent nature. The more we are practicing like this, the more the present mind will be stable and pure. Pure means less and less greed, anger, and delusion. If we are paying attention on different gender, nationality, our mind will not be stable and pure. Only when we are focusing on the same truth of ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature, our present mind will be more and more stable and pure. Stability of the mind is the power which can fulfill whatever we need. Purification of the mind is the freedom or wisdom or enlightenment which know about the truth of ever-changing impermanent nature and permanent nature or Nibbana. In practicing meditation, we need to keep at least 5 precepts by accepting no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lie, no using drugs and alcohol, in both of physical, verbal, and mental action. In all of physical, verbal, and mental action. As a meditator, we need to accept or understand ourselves as not someone, not something. Just ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. In this way, we all are the same ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. This practice is mindfulness with detachment. Detachment is trying to know the truth about ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. This right understanding is really powerful to detach from attachment on self or oneself or one person, one thing, one time, and one place. Self or oneself is created truth, created by ignorance and attachment. Ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature is the original truth or permanent truth or natural truth. Both of self and selflessness are to be using or not using only with mindfulness and detachment. If we see from the side of selflessness or ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature, all living beings and non-living beings are to be using or not using only, with detaching mind. Right understanding about ever-changing selfless impermanent nature is detaching mind. Like energy drink or vitamin, if we use energy drinks, we can refresh at once, but it may not be long-lasting. Therefore, we need to drink more and more. But if we are drinking a lot, there will be no strength, no power. Practicing meditation like this is similar like using energy drink, but no side effect. The more we are practicing or understanding like this, the more the mind will be stable and pure. If the mind is stable, we are safe. If we want to be safe, we are safe. If we want to be rich, we can be rich. If we want to be healthy, we can be healthy. Stable mind can fulfill all our desire. Pure mind is the answer for all the questions, solution for all the problems. Medicine for all the disease. So we need to keep preset by no killing any living beings, no destroying the belongings of the others and ourselves, no sexual misconduct, no telling lie, no using drugs and alcohol. And then we should use our life and our belongings not only for us but also for all, especially for the most needy people of the society. We should practice meditation not only in sitting position but also in our daily activities. This is the essence of practicing Vipassana meditation. Because of I started practicing and teaching like this from 1999 till now. Because of practicing and teaching like this, I can help more and more people. I can teach more and more like this. I can establish more and more new meditation center. Full-time meditation center. Where all kinds of goodies are free to do beyond limit or limitlessly. Anyone can share your experience or ask the question.
Anyone have a question? Feel free to ask. Or any issue, we ask.
You should explain more to the Westerner. Your understanding.
From
Only 30 minutes left.
Can you explain, who you are and how you became a meditator?
I started practicing meditation in 2008 in the Goenka meditation course, and I practiced seriously in Goenka tradition for 5 years. But I had a lot of difficulty with the technique, and I was getting like headaches, but I just kept taking course after course and trying again and again, and I left my home in Virginia and went to volunteer in one Goenka center in Massachusetts, and there we learned that Mr. Goenka was going to lead a Dhamma tour around Myanmar to visit the famous Buddhist sites there. So me and my friend decided we would join, and in my head I thought, like, I want to meet Mr. Goenka so I can ask him directly about my problem, because I couldn't get any answer, like why I had so much difficulty. But I didn't get to talk to him directly. It was like many hundreds of people, and he gave some public talks in Yangon in Myanmar. But another yogi in the Goenka center knew about Sayadaw and she went to donate robes at Sayadaw's center, and she brought back English teaching. Well, it was a Burmese Dhamma book of Sayadaw's talks, but there were a couple in English at the back. And the way Sayadaw explained the meditation just opened my heart and mind immediately. Like, it just solved so many of my issues upon reading. And but I was scared, like, to leave the Goenka tradition, because they emphasize so much that this is the technique and this is the way to practice. And if you go in with another teacher, then you have to start over as a new student, and sometimes they don't accept you back.
So I kept on attending courses in Myanmar, and eventually I just felt like this is really crazy. Like I know exactly what's going to happen in the next retreat. So I left and I went to meet Sayadaw, and he was on his way to teach in Vietnam. So I met at the airport and followed for his teaching in English there. And I didn't really know like what to do after that. So I asked Sayadaw's advice, and he advised me to ordain as a nun. He told me I could learn more and help many people. So I did that, and I stayed as a Theravada Buddhist nun for 5 years. And then when Sayadaw, in 2017, Sayadaw came to the US to open a center here because he has his relatives here, and I only stayed as a nun for 1 more year in the US, and it was like you were saying, like the culture in the United States is much less supportive and more difficult to stay like that. But I kept on staying in Dabawa Center since 2013 until now. And it's still for the reason, like the kind of talk Sayadaw gave just now, I feel is like so illuminating and pointing directly to the truth, which is so inspiring and refreshing for me. But I'm also like continuously forgetting it at the same time. So, but I try to, I help like typing some of Sayadaw's talks to make books, and just doing what I can to support Sayadaw's center and other meditators.
Any of you guys want to share your journey about meditation?
Is it okay for them to ask general questions? So please, everyone, this is your opportunity. You know, we belong. It's funny. When I say that, and it leaves a little taste in my mouth. We belong to this. So I appreciate one of the things you said in that, regarding this is the way or the highway kind of thing. And that's one of the things I really appreciated about the Zen school, and in particular with my teacher. He says, Chigen, I will practice whatever works. And that's very important, to not get stuck in a particular paradigm that might not be applicable to time, place, degree, amount. And so the Zen school belongs to the Mahayana, but we have a great respect for the old Theravadan tradition. So, like for instance, Daigaku, who actually was the first Buddhist I ever met, and was largely responsible for introducing me to the Dharma many, many years ago, is what I would consider a scholar in the tradition. So, Daigaku, not to put you on the spot, but here's your chance to ask questions about the Theravada tradition of Vipassana. But all of you as well. This is just an opportunity we don't get very often. So there's no wrong questions. If it comes up, you feel impelled to ask, even if it's elementary, that's even better. Please feel encouraged.
teachings, we look at the chain of events from contact to sensation, perception, conceptualization, and with that, then karma develops. That physicality, that natural sense-based, makes a great deal of sense to me. But my question that I would offer at this point is, how does the mind spontaneously generate remembrances and then other mental objects that just arise and they are subject to transitory nature, that are impermanent, they come and go. But how does the mind spontaneously create that? Because there is no physical contact with a sense object.
You can hold on to it.
Okay.
သူကစိတ်ကဟိုနော်အယမ်းမြန်ပြောင်းလဲနေတော့စိတ်ကအယမ်းမြန်ပြောင်းလဲနေတော့အခုပေါ့နော်တကယ်ကတော့ဒီလိုမျိုးစိတ်ကဖြစ်သွားတယ်ပြတ်သွားတယ်မမြဲဘူးဒါတွေကိုထိစရာမရှိပဲနဲ့စိတ်ကဘယ်လိုလုပ်သိနိုင်မလဲဒီလောက်ထိတော့စိတ်ကအကောင်ထဲမဟုတ်ဘူးပေါ့နော်ဒီလိုမျိုးဒီဖြစ်စဉ်ကြီးကိုဘယ်လိုလုပ်သိနေတာလဲပေါ့ဒီလိုစိတ်ကဘယ်လိုလုပ်တလောက်မြန်တန်းသွားဖြစ်ပြနေတယ်ဖြစ်ပြကိုဘယ်လိုလုပ်သိနေလဲတို့တို့ချိန်နဲ့ဖြစ်နေတာပေါ့ spontaneous ဆိုတာ
So his question is simple, like, for example, I'm sitting like this, and a thought comes up. Why and how that thought came up? Why that particular thought came up? When I'm just sitting doing nothing, and a thought arises, how does that happen?
If we eat more, we want to eat more, and we must eat more. If we sleep more, we need to sleep more, and then we must sleep more. So if we think more, we need to think more. We attach on thinking in this way. There will be thinking most of the time, automatically also, like AI. We can train AI. In this way, AI can, if we are using AI for medicine, AI will know more and more about medicine. This is cause and effect. Because of thinking more and more, the mind will think by itself. This is training the mind to think more or to recognize more. In this way, the mind will think naturally. Just cause and effect. The mind, body and mind can use for many functions, for many activities. No one is doing, nothing is doing. Only if there is cause, there will be effect. If there is action, there will be the same reaction. you train your mind to think more and more. That's why even if you are not thinking intentionally, the mind will continue thinking by itself. So no one is doing. Doing is doing only. So also if you try to stop thinking, there will be no thinking by itself. We use our mind to accept the truth of someone or I. We believe ourselves as someone or I. This is because we use our mind to believe in someone or I as real. Because of believing like this, there is attachment in our mind, in the mind of living beings. There is attachment on believing someone or I as real. Just cause and effect. That's why we can train our mind to believe in not someone, not something, just cause and effect or action and the same reaction of ever-changing selfless impermanent nature. If we train our present mind to believe or understand this truth, the mind will, in the long term, the mind will be knowing the truth of cause and effect or action and the same reaction of ever-changing selfless impermanent nature naturally, automatically. In this way, the mind can use the power of everything, everyone, every time, every place. Because of attachment on one time, one place, one person, one thing, we can do only what we attach. We can stay only in one place. If we can detach, we can do many things. We can stay everywhere. We can be friendly with anyone, with a knowing of ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature.
Anyone have a question?
If I understand correctly, is Vipassana technique mostly focused on the observing of the breath, or are there other techniques that are used for meditation?
As human beings, we will do something. We will do many things because we can do. So also we will stay in many places. So what we do or when we stay, what happened to us are not much important. To survive as human beings is more important. So also as a meditator, the object of mindfulness can be breathing or pain or suffering of body and mind. The object of mindfulness can be everything. But the most important thing is to continue mindfulness and detachment. every present moment. So we are alive. That's why we must do something what is something better and better. In this way, our intelligence and our life will be better and better. So also, as a meditator, we need to be mindful every present moment. We need to be alive with present action of mindfulness and detachment. The object can be anything, anyone. If we stop practicing mindfulness and detachment, we are not meditators anymore. As long as we are practicing mindfulness and detachment, we are meditators. In this way, we don't need to choose the object intentionally. The longer we are practicing meditation, we can be mindful naturally. The mind will be mindful by itself. The mind will be mindful, the most obvious object of our body and mind. If there is pain, we don't need to be mindful of the pain intentionally. The mind will be mindful naturally like that. In this way, the object of mindfulness is not important. We just need to be mindful with the knowing of cause and effect or action and the same reaction of ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. I have to guide and teach like this from the senior meditators and meditation teacher. And that's why I am sharing to the others. If you can receive my sharing, you can also share to the other. This is cause and effect. You must share because you receive. I can share because I already received, sharing this right understanding and practice from the senior meditators and meditation teacher. This is only cause and effect, or action and the same reaction of ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. So this is very simple and really powerful. That's why we don't need to think about ourselves and the other. We just need to continue this practice. In this way, we can detach from ourselves and the other. We may be man or woman, we may be healthy or sick, we may be young or old. All these are not important. To do all kinds of good deeds with this right understanding is really important. I have been practicing and teaching like this from 1999 till now. This is the best we all can do. This is complete. No side effect. For sure. If there is side effect, I will stop practicing and teaching like this for sure.
As a follow-up, I hear a lot of similarity between the Vipassana technique and aims, goals, and what I hear and read and talk about in the Zen tradition. I was wondering if you could speak to what you think are important similarities or distinctions between the Vipassana understanding and, say, the Zen Buddhist tradition or other Buddhist traditions. What is it that you think Vipassana shares with other Buddhist traditions, or maybe how it differs from other traditions?
I was not much interested in religion. That's why I have not much knowledge about religion. including the Buddhism. But I was a traditional Buddhism. I was fortunate enough to practice meditation in 1999 when I was 29 years old. When I started practicing meditation, I know more and more about the difficulties of the meditator, like Elizabeth. There are many meditators in Myanmar, but they are old and they ask questions, but not suitable answer for them. They are helpless. That's why I want to help them. In order to solve the problems concerned with meditation, I must practice meditation seriously. With this right understanding, I started to practice meditation continuously and seriously in order to find the answer and solution concerned with the problems of meditation. In this way, I am satisfied. I can understand more and more clearly about meditation. In this way, I stop my business, my life as a layperson, and then I started practicing and teaching meditation as a layperson in the beginning. After 3 years later, I ordained as a monk. In Myanmar, monk who is free to do all kinds of good deeds. A layperson is not free. That's why I don't want to get married to a woman. I don't want to work for money. I just want to practice and teach like this. That's why I became a monk and meditation teacher from 2002 till now. So if I am not satisfied with this practice, I must learn more and more other tradition also. But I'm satisfied with this practice. That's why I don't need to find another master, another method. I stop practicing meditation with this right understanding. So if you are okay with one method and one master, you can stop. If you are not okay or satisfied, you must find new methods, new master, until you satisfy.
Hello, my name is Cynthia. I started meditating only this March from an app, and interestingly enough, it was a Vipassana app. And after meditating for a while, I had a moment where I did realize my impermanent nature, or what many call absolute truth, or whatever you want to call it. And I really did believe it for a while, and then also sometimes I really don't believe it anymore. Like, I feel very attached to the self. And I think that's one of the things that I'm still dealing with. Maybe that's like my koan, I guess. Like, is it real? And I kind of go back and forth all the time, and I'm kind of stuck there thinking about it. And especially like in Western society, really embodying your impermanent nature sometimes can be difficult, dealing with just life in general. So maybe just any advice on how to work on the non-attachment?
Meditation centers are like hospital. If you are sick, if you are feeling some disease, you must go to hospital. you must stay in the hospital until you recover. After you are normal, you can go back home. So meditation center are useful like this. Because of going to the meditation center, I came to understand my mind is not healthy and wealthy. I came to understand my greed, anger, delusion, pride, doubt. I know more and more, I knew more and more about myself, my mind, because of practicing meditation. In order to reduce my greed, anger, and delusion, I must continue practicing meditation. In my experience, practicing meditation is like medical checkup and medical treatment. The same, meditation is complete because it can let us know about our greed, anger, and delusion. All these are disease of the mind. Besides, if we continue practicing meditation, there will be less and less greed, anger, and delusion. So we need to know, we don't like not the same as medical treatment in hospital. If you go to hospital, sometimes the doctors cannot find what happened, cannot find the disease. In this way, they cannot cure. Only when they find the disease, they can cure. Only to find the disease, we need time. We need to make many medical checkups. Even if we know the disease, some disease cannot be cured. So practicing meditation is not like medicine. It can let us know about the present condition of the mind. If the mind is stable or not, pure or not. Not knowing about the present condition, not knowing about the condition of present mind is the cause of greed, anger, and delusion. Knowing about the greed, anger, and delusion of present mind is reducing our greed, anger, and delusion. So we must the same reaction of ever-changing, selfless, impermanent nature. The truth is the same for everything and everyone. We are surely detached from everything and everyone, from the society, from politics, from business, education, healthcare. We can detach from ourself of a human beings or a man or a woman. Everything can detach from this practice or right understanding. So if you are knowing about politics, business, your greed, anger, and delusion will increase. If you are knowing about your present greed or anger or delusion, your mind will be more and more stable and pure. If you are difficult to practice like this at home by yourself, you can cooperate with us. You can come and stay for short time or long time in full-time meditation center. In this way, this is like staying in the hospital. So if you are feeling better and better, you can go back home and you can stay with your neighborhoods. If it is okay, if it is okay to practice by yourself at home, you can stay at home. If not okay, you can come back to the meditation center.
Okay, I did get it. Thank you. Thanks. So, is that on? There we go. Thank you. So you're returning to Myanmar tomorrow?
To India, Mumbai.
Mumbai, India. Which of the brothers are staying? Or this could be the sisters?
These two monks will stay.
You'll be staying?
And these three nuns will be here.
How large is your local community? How large is your local community of monks and nuns?
Maybe 3 or 4 monks in the center and 5 nuns.
And 5 nuns?
Yeah, and some lay people also.
How large a Myanmar community do you have in Southern California?
In California, it's about over 100,000.
About 100,000. That's a lot more than I would have thought. Okay, because we're obviously using a Vietnamese Pure Land this facility, and there's not a lot of cultural interaction right now between the Japanese population and most of us Zen practitioners out here. So I'm just curious, are you affiliated with any local Southern California university or college and interacting in that way at all?
He seriously, he's always on and off, to US and then Malaysia, Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't have any affiliation right now with university or college.
Okay.
This is the first time he stayed for 3 months in the US.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you have a website in English?
Our website is down right now. we want by the volunteers.
Yeah, our organization does too. Okay, thank you very much.
If you know any affiliations, or because Seattle is fairly new to the United States, and this is the first year that he conducted meditation retreats across the states, he would like to get to know the U.S. In different ethnicities. So he conducted a lot of retreats within the Vietnamese community, the Hispanic community, and he is trying to learn with the Western meditators. So there is no limitations to where he can teach or whom he teaches to. It's because
Are you local?
I'm local, yeah, and I mainly help Seattle organize the retreats, but I'm limited in resources as well. So if we have a bigger Dhamma family now that we know everyone here and Dhamma friends. So we would love to have your assistance in terms of connecting us, or let us know if there's any opportunities for teaching.
Thank you.
Most of Seattle's activities are on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the
YouTube also.
and YouTube. There's several channels of Zero's activities and Dhamma talks and some documentaries on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. We're gonna have to.
Scott, right? Is your name Scott? David. I will let you know the name of all his social media channels. Okay. Then I will let you know the name of his channels.
Okay.
So you can follow if anyone's interested.
We'll
Yes,
exchange.
we'll exchange.
Good.
Yeah, I just wanted to share briefly. I started meditating in 2018, and I have sometimes found it more easy to meditate, and sometimes it's difficult to meditate. And I find that meeting other meditators is very encouraging. And so I just wanted to say thank you all for coming, and thank you for sharing your teaching with us. I found it very encouraging.
Would you like to share your meditation experience?
Oh, goodness. My meditation experience. Yeah. No, the what do you say? The impermanent, selfless. I forgot the series of adjectives there. I was hoping that would stick in my head a little bit better. So the selfless part is yeah, I don't know. I think that at least more and more my practice has been really looking and seeing for myself. That maybe that's been more of my theme. I've been following is just what's it like? What's it actually like? Stare at it, really stare at it. What's it like? So, yeah.
How long have you practiced?
Since 2018, yeah, off and on, various different practices and teaching. I started, more history for me. I started listening to guided meditations, and practiced with guided meditations, listening on headphones for a long time, and then in 2020, I started meeting with a group, but it was during the pandemic, so it was all over Zoom. And that was my first experience sitting with a teacher. But I was encouraged by the teacher and by the Sangha to sit for longer periods, so retreat style sitting. And I was glad that was over Zoom because I was too afraid to go sit in person for many hours and days. And eventually I've started to go sit in person for many hours and days. And I feel very drawn to the practice, less and less intellectually and more feels like the thing I'm doing, should be doing, are doing. Yes.
Thanks for sharing. We got about 8:15, so anyone have more questions I can ask or share information with Cindy?
I think we only have like 30 people left that have not shared, so we maybe want to read the rest of them.
Jim?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah.
Do you have like a book or anything by chance that you can purchase? You do. I just don't.
Yes, we take away.
Thanks a lot for coming tonight. I started practicing here about 10 or 11 years ago. I'd asked Sister Ming if there was anything going on here, and she got a hold of Chigan, and the group kind of formed around that. At the time, I didn't even really know what meditation was. I had got a lotus flower tattoo, and I looked into what that was. And from there, I found the Dalai Lama and all that. And just, it kind of just found me. I'm 52. I had struggled with drugs and alcohol and all that before, and this was kind of a better way from rehab and all that, where people just sit around and smoke cigarettes and have sex, and it was just not, that was not what I was looking for. This seemed to just help me in better ways. But thank you for being here tonight.
You're the only one left. So he requested Miriam is the most experienced meditator. He requests for you to share. So we'll pass it on that way.
Well, thank you so much. For me, experience is no experience, it's more experience needed. The more I do, the more I need. I started practicing in 2013. So it's 11 years, 12. I practice, I am a mental health provider and a psychologist. I practice daily all your presentation in regards to the mind and the question people ask, why I'm thinking this? Like you saying, the more they think, the more thinking and thinking is going on. And it's hard to stop the thinking. So that's for me the challenge. Not to be intellectualizing, not to be trying to explain and come with reference and this, and more in the present. So that's my work in a daily basis, to be able to do that. Thank you.
Are you a psychologist?
Yes, I am.
Where do you practice?
I practice now my private practice with the Inland Psychiatric Medical Group, but I have provided mental health for more than 30 years in the United States. And I just recently retired from the Riverside and San Bernardino County, providing mental health, directing programs, clinics, cultural competency issues, reminding people that culture is not being crazy, that sometimes we misdiagnosing and interpreting things in a different ways. So working on all of that. Yeah.
I'm just curious, like in terms of you treating your patients before you practice meditation, and is it different in your treatment after you started meditation?
I will say yes, it is a difference. I emphasizing more and more on meditating and actually taking time with the patients on doing some meditation. So it's very helpful. And so they practicing, and I do like 5 minutes practice, and let's do this 5 minutes, and it's hard for them even to do a 1 minute. And so it's practicing every time I have a chance to meet with them to do that practice. So I'm doing it. It's very different for me now. Yeah. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah, and also, so you come into contact with a lot of people with problems. Do they affect you?
I don't call it problems. I call it situations. And I tell them, well, no, they always ask me, and I say, no, it's your situation, it's not mine. You leave, and I let you go with it. Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Because we know that a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists have the highest suicidal rates because they cannot detach from the situations of their patients. And so do you feel that as a practitioner in mental health, that psychiatrists or any people who is involved with the mind should meditate
in order to protect themselves and their patients.
I recommend it. Yeah, I would recommend that for everyone. Yes, definitely. It's a practice. It's to
teach meditation to mental health providers.
I've been teaching a lot to the mental health providers for many years. So then, as I always tell them, even if I cannot tell you in English, I can tell you in Spanish if that's better for them. And then so, because it is also the way of teaching and coming to present issues to the individuals. It has to do all with the, like you were saying, receiving. And the more you receive, the more you can give. But that receiving takes a lot of process in the mind. The how receiving, how you listening, how the concepts come. Because even for you presenting in English, it's more difficult. And some of those concepts, we miss them because that process and that translation that takes place in our mind. So it's part of all that process. Then, yeah. Thank you.
Sienna, did they share?
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was really great to connect with this group, and I hope it's the beginning of more connections. When I spent 5 years in Myanmar, or in Asia, in Myanmar, and then came back, I went to college again to become a nurse. So thank you for your experience, because I was a nun and ordained, came back, and then started working because I found the same thing. That Dhamma is not strongly rooted here. And it was really interesting also to join meditation at Whitman College, and this is in Southeast Washington. And they had a weekly meditation group and some retreats there also. So I think it would be great for Seattle to be able to visit some different universities and their meditation groups, because there's such a hunger with all the technology and how plugged in we are in modern society. It's so important to take time to unplug, and for mental health also, because we have seemingly everything in modern society, but lacking so much in the mental health and wealth, as Seattle phrases it. And yeah, it's great. Meditation is really helpful. Yeah.
What type of nurse are you?
I ended up in the ICU last couple years, cardiac ICU. And I appreciate what you said about their situations. It is intense, as it's called, intensive critical care. It is intense and critical. I actually came back so after working 10 years as a nurse, came back to more intensive meditation and took a sabbatical, ended up taking sabbatical, and reordaining. And it's been really good to reconnect with the practice. Maybe I didn't realize how much the working in the hospital was affecting me, and so it's been good to take a step back.
What's your name?
Sienna.
Sienna?
Yeah. And my Dhamma name is Kusala. Kusala.
Kusala.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that
in from my understanding, I'm not really like religiously oriented either, but Vipassana is one of the core Buddhist teachings, but I want to read some more of the Buddhist literature because I feel like I'm lacking in that regard. So I think there's more connection than separate. It's not like a separate practice. It's just one of the core Buddhist practices and teachings. Okay.
You want it? Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I think we're winding down. Just in terms of announcements, I just want to remind everyone of the Tokoro ceremony on November 16th. It's a Sunday at 2 p.m. So I spoke to Ishin. We talk every Sunday, and his flight will be here next Tuesday. I think he's landing, so he might be able to attend our group on Wednesday. Hopefully, he and his brother. And then they're gonna do a big hike on Friday from Cactus to Clouds, and then yeah, there's some funny stories about that, but I'll save that for another time. Then he's gonna take the vows to become a priest on November 16th. So please attend if you can. I know he would deeply appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And we'll try to let the extended Sangha know as well. And then he'll be at session the rest of the week up at Yokoji. I didn't mention that earlier. I just mentioned sort of my training path, but my training center was at Yokoji Zen Mountain Center up in Idlewild. It's about an hour and a half drive, and it's sort of in the deep mountain of the San Jacinto Mountains. We're about 160 acres of wilderness and off-grid. It's a very precious place, and we're going through a lot of transition right now. So for those of you that are interested in sitting session and being a part of the Yokoji Sangha, please consider it. We still do a Care for the Temple Day every third Sunday, which we just as a Sangha gather. And whatever skill you have, just try to contribute in any way and help maintain the land and the facilities. Yeah, I think that's it. So for those of you that are new here, we usually finish by chanting the 4 Bodhisattva vows. Please, if you feel encouraged to participate or not, it's up to you. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to put an end to them. The dharmas are boundless. I vow to master them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to attain it. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them. Illusions are inexhaustible. I vow to put an end to them. The dharmas are boundless. I vow to master them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I